I just wanted to go live real quick. I'm on Facebook and I'm on TikTok right now. I just wanted to go live real quickly. First of all, the title of this live is Domestic Violence, How Do You Get Away? This is how so many people who have been in domestic violence wind up just continuing the cycle. Have you ever noticed that women and men who are in a domestic violence situation, even if they do wind up leaving, they just wind up dating or marrying the same type of people continually for the rest of their life? And the reason why this happens is because we never actually get down to the root of it. My book, I get down to the root of it. But we never actually get down to the root of it. So how can you stop something from happening when you don't even understand why it happened to begin with? If you don't even understand why you allowed certain things to happen, how can you stop it? So I wanted to get on here and talk to you guys about domestic violence. First of all, we're going to talk about how you can spy from an out of the way. And then also, if you're being too deep out of the way. So, give me a number between Where's my video pausing? Come on. 1 and 472. Is it 472? Let me see. Hold on, because that might not be the right number. Just give me a number between 1 and 450. And I will read a page. I'm on TikTok and Facebook. But I'm about to read a page real quick. And then we'll get into it. And I'll explain a little bit deeper. So like I said, my name is Rosie. I'm a DV survivor, domestic violence survivor, but outside of being a survivor, I am using my voice to speak up for women and men who don't feel like they can have a voice, who don't understand even how they get into these types of situations. So many people don't even understand exactly how someone can get in a domestic violence situation because they're always like, oh, well, that would never happen to me. I would never allow da-da-da. But the strongest people can still wind up in these types of situations. And the number one way that an abuser is able to get you to submit to them is isolation. So they start off by telling you that everybody in your family hates you, or none of your friends are actually real friends, or you shouldn't wear that, you shouldn't go there, you shouldn't do that. They start going through your phone. They start making you feel bad about yourself. If somebody is able to make you question who you are, they have the keys to your life. If you allow someone to make you question whether or not you should do something, whether or not you should say something, they now have the control over your life. The only way that you should allow anyone to speak into what you do or what you say is if they're coming from a place of, okay, this is not something that God will be okay with. You know, like if they're trying to give you some wisdom or some counsel. But if someone is literally just telling you, you can only talk to me, nobody else cares about you, that is the first way to start abuse. Once they get you to submit to them on that level, they can get you to submit to them in all other levels as well. I think back to my first situation that I ever had with domestic violence. I was not in a situation that I felt was dangerous, right? Yeah, Amanda, that's true. I was not in a situation that I thought was dangerous. I was dating my first boyfriend, and outside of dating my first boyfriend, I have a lot of nephews and nieces. He has a lot of nephews and nieces. So we were always babysitting. That was something that we had in common. We were the only ones that didn't have kids, and we were always babysitting. And that just was kind of, okay, he's a good person. He loves kids, blah, blah, blah. So I didn't really understand what was going on when I started to get hit. Because I'm like, you've never showed me signs that you were crazy. Like, but after I left him, I started to realize, girl, he was showing you signs. You just was ignoring him. But if someone is able to tell you that your family doesn't really care about you and you actually believe them, or your friends don't really care about you and you actually believe them, that's like one of the quickest ways for them to isolate you. Every family has issues. But for someone to try and make you not want to speak to your family at all, they are an abuser. Even if they don't physically assault you, if they want to make it to where they are the only person that you are speaking to at all times, they're trying to have control over you for some reason. And that's really how both of my situations started. It was more so like I got drawn to a certain relationship. I got used to being around this person. And then this person's like, oh no, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go around your family. Your family doesn't like me. My family don't even know you. But you're saying that they don't like you. But since I'm in love with you, and you're saying they don't like you, I'll stay home with you. You know, it goes from that to them thinking that they can do whatever they want to do, but you can't do anything. Yes, Amanda. Like they can do whatever they want to do, but you can't do anything. They can go wherever they want to go, but you can't. And then they don't even have to tell you to run things by them. Now, before you make any decision, you're running every decision by this person. Every single decision. And then they start thinking you're annoying. But if you don't run decisions by them, then it's a big issue. You get what I'm saying? Like they literally control you like a puppeteer. Like you are their puppet. But it starts off with them just making little comments. Yeah, you can do that if you want to, but, and like, you know, they make a face when you want to do something, or they huff when you want to do something. And if they notice that them making little faces or huffing or telling you no makes you actually submit to them, then they start to put the pressure on. They don't start out with putting the pressure on. They see how much they can get away with first. And then when it comes to hitting you, they don't start off just hitting you. Oh no. Like, this is another question that a lot of people always have. Well, why didn't you leave the first time they hit you? It never starts off with them just hitting you. It never does. It starts off with them trying to control you. And then once they got that on lock and they can control you, now they start calling you little slurs sometimes. They might call you a B or HO or stupid or they might question your integrity. Like they start to pick at you in little ways, right? To see if you're going to stand up for yourself. If you don't stand up for yourself when they pick at you in little ways, they're like, I tell her to jump and she jumps, and now I talk bad about her and she don't leave? Oh yeah, she mine. She mine. You feel me? It starts out in your head. Yeah, it makes sense, right? It starts out in your head. Like they have to get control of your head. Like me, I've always been very motivated. I have always been self-driven. I have always been the person who was like the glue in every situation, whether it's friends or family. That's always been me. I've always stood up for other people, all that. But the way that I wound up in a domestic violence situation was, first of all, I didn't tell anybody what was going on. So when I was being manipulated, or when I was being controlled, or even if I was being sexually assaulted, I was not telling anyone. So first, they strip you from your friends and your family, isolation, right? And then they start to slowly throw little insults at you. And then after they start to slowly throw little insults at you, they start to make you question your own integrity. They start to make you question what you should and shouldn't do. And as they continue to do all this stuff, then they might try to shove you one day. Okay, they shoved you and nothing happened?
Just doing my makeup.
Okay, so I can control where she goes and what she does. I can look through her phone. I can tell her no, and she'll actually not do things. And now I can call her out of her name, and now I can push her. You see what I'm saying? That's how it happens. Like, I've never just been one of those dense, dumb girls. Never. But it still happened to me, and this is how it happened to me. I kept allowing them to get away with little stuff. You do little stuff to me, and I keep letting you get away with the little stuff starts to look big. So now when you're punching me in my face and I'm looking around like, how did we get here? We didn't just quantum jump here. It slowly happened. I slowly allowed you to strip me of my peace. I slowly allowed you to strip me of my personality. I slowly allowed you to strip me of who I am. So now I don't
I'm a cosmetologist. I do hair and makeup.
So now I have to look to you every time I want to do something. Now I have to look to you every time I make some money. What should I do with my money? Now I have to look to you every time I want to do anything. I look to you. You're my God now. So if you're my God now, You could beat the crap out of me and I'm still going to protect you. If you're my God now, you can tell me that I'm the dumbest and ugliest woman on earth and I'm still going to nurture you. If you're my God now, I'm not looking for God's love.
Blue Springs?
I'm not looking for peace. I'm not looking for affirmations. I'm not looking for positivity. I'm looking for what you can give me because you're my God. You're my God. And you're not mighty. You're not wonderful. You're not great. You're not a good person. You're not coming from a place of love. You're not coming from a place of care. You're not coming from a place of tenderness. You're coming from bitterness. You're coming from hurt. You're coming from shame. You're coming from hate. You're coming from, I need to control you, right? So if that's what you're coming from, but you're my God, now my universe is being controlled by the devil. You feel me? So that's what happened to me.
Yes, double tap, y'all.
That's what happened to me. And I was so deep in it that I didn't know how to get out. And when I finally got out, I was just looking for love again. Because I was so used to always having somebody there. I was so used to always having someone to talk to. I was so used to always having someone in my bed. I was so used to, for almost 7 years, having someone to lean on. But I realized that that person was not my person. So when I left, I was just looking for somebody to fill that void. I wasn't looking to heal myself. So I got that void filled by somebody who was worse. And when I say worse, I mean this person would text me all the time to check and see what I was doing, would call me and all this. And so I'm just assuming based off of a phone conversation that this person really loves me. But the first time we meet, this person wants to have sex. I'm just looking for a void to be filled. This person knows I'm going through a divorce. This person knows that I just had a baby. This person knows that I've been abused because I told this person I had been abused. So this person knows everything about me. So without me knowing anything about this person, I go all in because I'm looking to fill a void. I married my first boyfriend. Do you understand? Do you feel me? Like, I did not date around. I did not shop around. I literally had a few really short entanglements, never had sex though. I just talked to a few people and then I had my first boyfriend and then I married him. So the first person that I ever was intimate with was abusive, was a cheater, was a master manipulator, was hateful, had an ugly spirit, was jealous of me. Every time I did anything positive, he wanted to fight me. Every time anybody showed me love, he wanted to fight me. I dealt with that for almost 7 years. So when I finally broke free from him, that's all I knew. That's all I knew. I knew I didn't want him anymore, but I was used to his version of love. That was the only love I knew, and my father acted just like him. I had never saw a positive male role model in my life. So when I started to date again, my first boyfriend was a replica of what I had just left, but he was worse. And he got me pregnant immediately. And he moved in with me. And then he broke my jaw. I didn't know how we got there. My ex-husband never broke a bone. My ex-husband used to punch me, but he used to punch me and leave bruises all over my body. He never hit me in my face. Well, one time he knocked me down and was like punching and kicking all over me. So he did hit me in my face one time, but I like covered my face. I didn't have a bruise. But this guy used to do straight shots in my face, like eye, face, lip. I can't even tell you how many times my lip had got busted, and I was only with him for 3.5 years.
Okay.
I was pregnant for 3 years, and we were together for 3 years. So I never had time to heal. For 11 years, I had my first 2 relationships, and they were horrible relationships. But Yeah, different body, familiar spirit. So I viewed myself as everything they told me I was. I viewed myself as unworthy. I viewed myself as ugly. And I was like 70 something pounds lighter than I am now. But I viewed myself as ugly. I viewed myself as unworthy. I viewed myself as stupid. And I knew that this stuff wasn't true. I knew it wasn't true. But when you're hearing it every single day, even when you know it's not true, you come into agreement with it. So I came into agreement with lies. So I started to treat myself like that. The music that I listened to, the types of things I said about myself, the types of circles I was in, the habits I wound up getting, it all was conducive to what I was going through. If you have someone telling you all the time, you're dumb, you're ugly, you're stupid, nobody is ever going to love you, even though that's not what you think about yourself, you're going to believe them, especially when this person is continually having sex with you, but then you also know they're cheating. Especially when this person is putting their hands on you, but then telling you that they love you. It's like a back and forth, bittersweet type thing. But as I just explained how the domestic violence cycle starts, they get in your psyche first. So how can you jump off of a Ferris wheel of emotions when they strip you of your mind first? It's not like they just come straight out and just punch you in your face. No, because if they did that, you would leave. You would never even let the relationship start. They start off by making you question everybody around you. So now you don't want to be around nobody but them. Then they're going through your phone. So now they control who you talk to. Then they're making you question your own thoughts. They're making you question whether or not you should do certain things, whether or not you should go certain places. Now they're your God, like I said. So when your God is evil, how could you possibly see who you actually are? You no longer see yourself as who you are. And that is really what I explain in this book. Like, it's not oh, woe is me, I'm a victim. It's definitely not that. It's more so, this is the raw of what happened to me. I go deep into it. I don't sugarcoat. This is the raw of what happened to me. But these are the emotions that I have now. This is how I should have viewed it. This is how I got through it. Because the whole goal is for other people to get through it. My goal is not to trauma dump and then leave you with all of my trauma. It's not my goal. My goal is to explain my trauma to you, not to trauma dump, to explain my trauma to you, then explain how I overcame that trauma. The goal is to explain the evil things that I endured, but then explain how God got me through it. The goal is to explain where my head and my heart used to be, and then explain how I got to where I'm at right now. You feel me? That's the whole goal of this. Love your story, not what you went through, but the awareness of it. It's helping. Yeah. So I appreciate that, Amanda. My whole goal is to be a pillar of hope. I don't mind me looking stupid. I don't mind me being vulnerable. I don't mind me being naked. I don't mind you knowing what actually happened to me. The only thing that I would mind is if all of this stuff happened to me and nobody got anything out of it. If I just said, here's my trauma, and just threw my trauma at you, I would mind that. That's not what this book is. This book is literally me explaining how the music I've listened to since I was a child, how the types of shows I used to watch, how the types of unsafe adults and unsafe children I was around as a child caused me to have the mindset that I had to even allow a man to do me the way he did me. Because if somebody can read my story and see how God allowed me to literally remember everything that's happened to me since I was a child, you would be like, wow, it's that deep. It starts when you're a kid. It starts with the music and the movies. It starts with the cousins and the aunties it starts with all of that. It's not just something that just happens one day. You don't just like a thug and date a thug and now you're abused. It's not just that. It's a lifestyle and a mindset and a heart posture. It's all three. If your lifestyle, your mindset, and your heart posture are not fixed on Jesus, they're fixed on the world. And as you know, the devil is the god of the world. This is a fallen world. God's hand is still on us, but this world is falling. And as we read in Revelations, it's going to completely fall. It's going to continue to fall. So if we don't know whose we are, we're going to fall for anything. And one of the easiest ways for the devil to trick you is to have sex with you. If the devil can get somebody that you like to be in bed with to control you, then the devil got you. He got you. Because just think about it. As an adult, you know that sex feels good. You know that that's something that you enjoy doing, right? Right? So if you're in love with someone and you're sleeping with that person, you're going to protect them by all means, as you should. But if you add another layer that they're mentally abusing you, that they're financially abusing you, that they're physically abusing, if you add on these other layers, that doesn't diminish the fact that the sex is good. That also doesn't diminish the fact that they already have control of your mind, right? So no matter what they're doing to you, you're always going to remember that they have control of your mind. This is very powerful. If your mind is in bliss while your body is being ridiculed and abused, you don't even feel it. You have mastered escapism. You are escaping what's actually happening to you. And I talk about this in the book so much. I'm a master of escapism. Have you ever watched the movie Precious? If you have, put a thumbs up. So for anyone who hasn't watched it, it's a Tyler Perry and Oprah movie, but the part that I want to speak of is whenever negative things would happen to Precious's body, like when she was being sexually abused, she always saw herself on a runway. Flashing lights, looking pretty, model walk, all of this, right? And then when she would come out of her vision, it would be over. I used to live my life in a vision. Break it down a little further. In the middle of being abused, I wouldn't be there. I wouldn't be there. My body would be there, but my head would be thinking about what I'm about to cook for dinner, or going to go pick the kids up, or wanting to go on vacation. Like, my head would not be in the moment. So while the evil things are being done to me, while the crazy things are being said to me, I wouldn't be there. So I didn't react. That's very dangerous. But the things that we do to survive, right? I'm getting choked up because this is so real, y'all. And the only way to survive the level of abuse that I went through was for me to escape. Had I not escaped, I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't be here today. And that's just the God honest truth, because y'all, I don't even want to sugarcoat it or lie. My baby daddy would have killed me. Like he would have killed me. He would have killed me. I try to sugarcoat it, water it down, but this man would have killed me. He would pull guns out on me. Daily. Sometimes multiple times a day. He would have killed me. But I was not the type of person to react, right? So while he's laughing and pointing two guns at me at the same time, I would just, I had to learn how to not be present. I had to. And honestly, I'm still working on
I'm so sorry your dog passed away. I'm so
because
sorry.
while he was acting crazy, I would just, scroll social media, or if he would knock my phone out of my hand, I would pray in my head, of course, because if I prayed out loud, he would have beat the crap out of me even worse. I used to talk to God a lot. I used to imagine myself being somewhere else. If I would have reacted to the things that he was doing, which is what he wanted a reaction, he would have felt like I was trying to fight him. He would have felt like I thought I was a man or I was getting tough. And he would have taken it to the next step. Because for my jaw and my ribs to have been broken when I never put my hands on him or called him out of his name or nothing, that tells you that if I would have put my hands on him or called him out of his name or threatened him, that he would have killed me. There's no question to it. It's not like a maybe this. No, he would have. I know he would have. So the only way that me and my children are still here today is because I mastered escapism. But I don't want women to feel like that's okay, because if it's done incorrectly, that could be a sure way for you to lose your life. To act like somebody is not threatening you with a loaded, it's crazy. It's crazy. But you have to be a certain level of crazy to deal with somebody that crazy. So how do we avoid even getting to that point, right? How do we avoid even winding up in a personal relationship with someone?
You said, do I do wicks? No.
To us?
Wicks are ugly, and I will not do that to anybody. People ask me for them all the time.
I know it sounds cliche, but baby, I can't tell you nothing but what I did. I can't give you a fake antidote. My antidote is Jesus. Had I already had a relationship with God that I have now, I would not have been in those situations. I've always believed in God. I've always considered myself a Christian. I've always had love for God. But I was not submitted to him. I wasn't. If you're lukewarm, he'll spit you out of his mouth, and that's what he did to me. He spit me out of his mouth. I'm saying I love God. I'm saying I love Jesus. I'm praying. I'm talking but I'm cheating on him because I still love the world. Still twerking, still cussing, still smoking weed, still having sex outside of marriage. I was still doing things that I should not have been doing. So I was lukewarm. But when I stopped doing all of those things and literally surrendered to him, that's when he took me back.
Now? So you got wicks?
And I mentally... Lord Jesus, okay. I mentally was able to go back to the situations that I escaped. And he made me deal with it. He made me feel it. Rosemary, you're going to feel what it felt like. You're not going to escape it this time. You're not high. You're not drunk. You're not ignoring it. This happened to you. So when I wrote my book, you're going to feel it. I felt every single emotion in this book. As I am sitting here and explaining being RAPED directly after a C-section, I go into details. The only way I was able to be that descriptive is because I watched it happen. there's a lot of things that I talk about in here that God literally took my spirit back and made me watch it happen. So this book it's so deep, y'all. It's so deep because people need to hear this. People need to hear
No
exactly how
disrespect, but you're
gruesome it can
beautiful.
get. Because
Hold your
it's easy
head,
for
don't
somebody to
fall
just say, "Oh
short.
yeah, I was abused." Yeah,
I
it's
don't
easy
have
to say
wheelchair,
that.
but I will. Oh, okay.
But to have a detailed description
And
of
thank
what
you.
abuse actually looks like, you can't deny that the devil is lurking. You can't deny that not submitting to God opens you up to the types of fatalities that we deal with. You can't deny it. Because I've never been a bad person. I've never been a thief or a killer or, like the cliche bad person. I've never been that. I've never been malicious. I've never been fake even. I've always been a real person. But the types of activities and the way that I talked, I was not surrendered. So it don't matter about you being a good person. God is not after whether or not you do good deeds. He could care less about your deeds. What he cares about is your heart. My heart was never surrendered. If you're walking around with a halfway surrendered heart, you're giving the devil legal access to your life. And I gave the devil legal access to my life for almost 30 years. I did. But that's no longer the case. And with that no longer being the case, it's my God-given duty to explain this to you. If you don't want to listen to it, you can scroll, you can block me, you don't have to purchase my book, none of that. But those who have ears, I want you to hear this. God loves you. He loves you so much that not only did he send his only begotten son to live a fruitful life and then be persecuted and killed in front of everybody. Rise again. Leave his spirit behind and ascend back to heaven. Not only did he do that, but he also used me. He used me because he knew that I was going to come back around. I was abused for a reason. Is God the reason I was abused? No. But he turned everything around for my good. God didn't want me to be abused. He didn't want me in neither one of those relationships I was in. I chose that. He didn't choose it. I chose that. But in me choosing that, he knew my heart. I was lukewarm. I'm not going to lie. I was lukewarm. But my heart was still after him. So once I realized I was lukewarm, because I didn't even know that I was, I cut it off.
What's up?
God, you only got to tell me once that I'm not doing what you want me to do, and I'm going to cut it off. But if I don't know, I can't change it. If I don't know that I'm not living right, how can I live right? If my whole life I've just been told, if you love God, you're going to heaven. If you pray, you're going to heaven. If you love Jesus, you go. If I've been told that my whole life, then why would I think that I had to actually live a clean life? If you don't steal, if you don't kill, you're going to heaven. If that's the elementary version of Jesus that I knew, why would I not think I was already going to heaven? Why would I not think that I already had a relationship with him? When I was given an elementary version of Jesus. I was on milk for so long, but now I'm on meat. And with the meat, I have an abundance of it and I have to share it. I have to share it. Because if I was loud and bold in my sin, then I'm going to be loud and bold.
My day's going good. How's yours going?
I'm going to be loud and bold with the things that he has allowed me to overcome, because I overcame these things for you. My story is not for me. My story is for you. That's why my book is available on Barnes & Noble, because my story is for you. It's for you. Give me a number between 1 and 450, and I will read a snippet of my book for y'all. I'm on TikTok and Facebook. I know y'all hear my stomach. All day. And then I had some popcorn. And then we went to my kids' school all night. And then we came home and I made burgers. Sorry, saying the turkey burger. But yeah. So give me a number between 1 and 450. And I'll read a page. And I don't have on my glasses, y'all, so I might read slow. But I got you. I just had to give y'all a breakdown of what to expect before I actually started. And Amanda, thank you so much. You've been in here actually talking to me. I got people watching that's not talking to me, so thank you. I appreciate it. 234. Okay. Hold on. Got you. Like I said, I ain't got my glasses low down. Okay. 234 is the beginning of chapter 18. Literally, it says, the devil is a lie. The name of this chapter is The Devil is a Lie.
I'm tired.
Y'all ready?
I gotta go drink me some coffee.
Ready for this?
Because I'm doing some box braids today.
Because it's getting really real while I'm sitting here talking to y'all.
Got me some box braids today.
I'm talking to you. It's getting really real. Okay, chapter 18 is called The Devil is a Lie. When I tell y'all that I'm God's child, I don't just say it, I mean it. I mean it. Okay. Like I said, I ain't got on the glasses and it's dark in here now, so don't judge me. Okay. We're gonna see what's going on this chapter.
It's hard to get my attention, so when I said you're beautiful, it's not to gas you. I'm just picking people up as I go. And you're beautiful. I appreciate that. Thank you. I really do.
So he was going to bleep me for wasting his time and playing with his life.
I'm actually listening to my live from last night. I'm an author.
For the pain that he
I'm an actress and I'm a hairstylist.
He gave me the full blame for not wanting to be with him.
And
he also told me
I went live talking about my book last night.
Tried to
so I'm listening to it.
Bleep you, B, because you're a dummy. You bought me a phone and clothes when we first met because you're a doormat. Nobody will ever respect a dumb B like you. This is my baby daddy talking to me while I'm pregnant. Okay. I argued back with him, but eventually I just blocked his phone number. The next day while I was at work, my stomach started to tingle. I felt nauseous, and I ran to the bathroom to throw up. I started to feel my neck at my pressure point to see if I could feel a double heartbeat, and I could. At that very moment, I realized that I was pregnant. I went next door to buy a 3-pack of tests just to make sure, and they were all positive. I was sick to my stomach, not only because I was pregnant, but also because I was pregnant by another abusive man. I had just cut him off, and now I felt the need to unblock his number and let him know, which is exactly what I did. When I sent him a photo of the positive pregnancy test, he texted me a long message telling me how dumb I am and the baby is not his, and to tell my rapist husband to take care of it because he isn't. He then blocked me on Facebook and Snapchat while also blocking my phone number. I wanted to die because I felt like the decisions that I had made thus far in my life were not conducive to a healthy environment for myself, the kids I was already responsible for, let alone a newborn baby. I was now pregnant by the same guy who made fun of the fact that I was abused and raped. Once I told him that I was no longer wanting to be with him. I was pregnant by a gang member.
Okay. Now, I gotta go get the kids up. Overpost, because I sub to everyone. But if you're working, we can work together. Let me see. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you mean by overpost, but let me see. It's not allowing me to sub to you from here. Yeah. If you sub to me, then after I get off my live, I can go look at the notification and I can sub back because it's not allowing me to. But I don't know what you mean by your comment, so can you explain what you mean, please? I'm about to get off here. So tell me what you're talking about, and I'm about to get off this live because I got to go get my kids dressed so I can go to work. I took too long doing my makeup. Ooh. Because I woke up at 7 o'clock instead of 5:30 today. I was tired. I was up all night. I didn't go to sleep till like 1:30. So I slept in. I usually wake up at 5:30. I know this girl better not have peed in my bed. She just laying in my bed. I gotta take 2 of my kids to work with me today. Oh, you telling me to overpost? I know. I have almost 3,000 followers. I got 2 point something K, and I'm trying to grow it. Trying to grow my following. And I have a lot of followers on TikTok. I'm at 14.6K on TikTok. I'm trying to grow my following. And you have a blessed day too. Joelle, it's almost 9 o'clock. Get up. Get up. Get up, boy. And look, remember I told you to pick that stuff up yesterday? That same trash is still on your floor from yesterday. Get up, Ju. And clean your room. Willow, get up. Come on, kids. It's time to get dressed. Kids. Kids. Good morning, buddy. Good morning, Bubba. Good morning, Daddy. How you doing?
Good.
Let's go get dressed, Bubba.
Mama, I was asleep. I was asleep. I finished my diaper.
You peed in your diaper? Okay. Let's go get dressed. Rihanna. Get up, boo. Come on, buddy. Let's go get dressed.
Why do you take a bath?
Oh, you do. Go run you some bath water. Hurry up. Come on. Time to get up.
How am I going to get that?
Over here? What you mean, how you gonna get down? Come on, little girl. Millie, Millie, Millie. Millie, 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 Millie. Get up, Millie. Come on, chunk bunk. Come on. Let's go. Oh, Jesus.